Hi, good morning. I recently was talking through text to a teacher friend of mine, and I haven't been in touch with her in a long time. And she reached out to me and was commenting on something I'd shared. And through the conversation, we got excited, even though it's through text, and we're sharing ideas. And she told me about this book that changed the way she parented. And she has a little one at home. And so she just raved about it so much that I went out and bought it. Normally, at this point in the ball game, I will often check out a book from the public library and see if I want to own it. And this time, I just went out and bought it. And it's called Hunter Gather Parent. I don't know if y'all have heard of it. Full disclosure, I have not read this book yet. It's on my big stack of books waiting for me to read. And then, coincidentally, my daughter knows that I listen to the podcast Live Kit. And she said, "Oh, Mom, there's a really great episode on helping kids do chores." So I listened to it, and it turned out it was done by the author of this book. So two worlds, small worlds, came together, and I thought this is a great video to do. And there's just some new information for me here. So you'll have to bear with me because I learned some new things and can't wait to share them with you. So number one was that they did research, and I don't know who the scientists were or how they did it. I'm sorry, I don't know all that information yet. But they found that across cultures, it is universal that kids 6 and under enjoy helping. They enjoy helping. So if we want that to continue, there are some things that they learned to share with us so that our kids will continue to hopefully one day take initiative and be glad to help and not see it as a chore. So that was number one. Number two, oh my gosh, I know we're all guilty of this. I know my mom was guilty of it. I was guilty of it. When your kids want to come help, don't shoo them away. I know it's hard. Sometimes it takes longer. They make a mess and it's just quicker to do it yourself. Give them a meaningful task. It can't be busy work, just some part of it, and allow them to assist you. And when you do allow them to help, don't give too many instructions. Don't make it a school lesson. Don't talk about it too much. Allow them to just do their part. Now, what they did stress is, of course, there's some things they're not ready to do. So you want to give them, they called it a sub-task. So, for example, they gave the example, so this is what came to mind. You need to take out the recycling. So you just say, "Could you please open the door for me?" That's an example of a subtask and something that they can do independently. At some point you might have them feed the dog, which is an easy task. Later on, they might move on to actually walking the dog. I could not give that task to most people with my dog because he's not always easy to walk. However, maybe your dog would be easy enough to walk and you could give that task to your child. So again, you can give subtasks to them. Next, what they said was to remember that you don't want the chore to feel like a punishment. So you want them to accomplish real tasks and help at home. So you want them to feel like they are of value and that they are really contributing to the family. And when we do this, it really makes them feel good. And our overall goal is not to make chores like a punishment. We want them overall to want to take initiative, look around the house, see how they can help you and help others. So that is what our overall goal is, that they really want to contribute and they want to help, and that chores are not seen as a punishment. And finally, this one was really interesting to me. Let me know what you think. They said that if your child doesn't want to do it, that you don't make them. That pits child against parent. It again feels like a punishment, and that's not what we're aiming for here. So They also said that, the goal is here, as I said, for the children to cooperate and work together. So you don't want to force them to do chores. Now, they opened up this podcast by saying that if you practice these over time, starting when they're very, very little, again, encourage them to help, give them a task, invite them to help. If they want to help, give them a small subtask of something that they can accomplish. It cannot be busy work. So, for example, if you're having them cut up vegetables safely, of course, then you need to have the family eat those vegetables. So it just can't be something for them to do. We, again, don't want to over-instruct and make it feel like it's a burden and a chore. And then throughout time, you will not need behavior charts. You will not need rewards. You won't have to give them allowance for these things. It will create meaning in their life. They know they're a valuable part of the family. Their help is, needed and appreciated. And again, our overall goal is for them to want to cooperate, contribute to the family, and, as they get older, actually have the initiative to see that something needs to get done and that they do it. Can you imagine how wonderful that would be? So I hope this was clear. Again, this is new information for me, and I really, really thought it was wonderful and couldn't wait to share. If you have any thoughts, I'd love to hear about them. And for other parents who have already read this book, again, Hunter Gatherer Parent, let me know what you think. Did you like it? Did you agree with it? I would really like to know. Can't wait to read it and would love to hear what you have to say. So until next time, take care.